Khamzat Chimaev cannot be UFC champion. I know, that sounds crazy to you guys, but Khamzat Chimaev would not be a good champion for the UFC, and in this video, I will explain to you why. Khamzat Chimaev is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I have a Khamzat Chimaev shirt in my closet right now. He is one of my favorite fighters. However, I would be lying if I said that him being champion would be a good thing for the UFC. Now you might be like, Travis, this doesn't make any sense. Khamzat Chimaev is one of the biggest superstars in the UFC currently. It would be great for him to be a champion. It's like when you have Khabib or Conor as champion. You want them as champions because they're going to sell a bunch of pay-per-views, be super popular, and do great for the sport. And all of that is true. However, there are some key problems that prevent Khamzat Chimaev from being a good UFC champion. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing it now. It's a free way to support the channel, and we're on the grind for 900 subscribers. And then one day when we're big, you could look back and be like, I was with that community from the start before they even hit 1,000 subscribers. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. The first and foremost problem is Khamzat Chimaev's health concerns. Now, it's unfortunate because this is something that is out of his control, but his health concerns lead to him not being able to fight very often. If you look 3 years ago from today, you're in July of 2022. Guess how many times Khamzat Chimaev has fought? The answer is 3 times. Over the last 3 years, he is averaging 1 fight per year. This would be horrible to be champion of a UFC because this is the John Jones effect, where when you're champion and not fighting, it's going to cause a logjam in the division and hold up other fighters' primes, hold up the whole weight division for the company, and you just have an inactive champion. Now, obviously, the best case scenario would be that Khamzat Chimaev's health concerns dwindle down and he can fight many times a year, and this is not a problem. However, it is a serious factor to consider. If he's only fighting once per year, that means we're going to have a 1 championship fight per year. If you're the UFC, you want your champions fighting at least 2 times a year, but if they could fight 3 times a year, that'd be great. Look at someone like a Merab Dvalishvili or Alex Pereira. Fighting that often is not only great for the division, it's great for their fighters' careers, and it's great for the sport as a whole. So fighting 1 time a year and being UFC champion is just not going to cut it. Now, looking at the next point, when Khamzat Chimaev does get a fight scheduled, he pulls out of a lot of the fights. Khamzat Chimaev has pulled out of multiple fights in the past for missing weight. And yes, this was a bigger problem at 170, and he's since moved up to 185, and it's not been as much of a problem here. But it is something to note, if you have a champion that can't even make weight, that is a bad look for the UFC. So that's the main problem, is his inactivity. You can't just have an inactive champion. It holds up the division, and it sucks for the UFC. If you agree with any of those points, might as well hit subscribe. But the next problem is potential visa problems. Khamzat Chimaev does not fight in the United States until this upcoming August. There's been rumored to be visa problems in the past. This doesn't seem like a problem anymore, as he is currently in the United States training for his fight. But again, it's something to note that if you can't fight in the United States and you're the champion of the UFC, an organization based out of the United States, that would be a scary concern. And as of right now, it looks like he can fight in the United States, but who knows what happens going forward. If it's been a problem in the past, there's a potential for it to be a problem in the future, although hopefully that is not the case. And then the last thing, you guys remember years ago, Khamzat Chimaev, not only one of the most exciting fighters, but he was one of the most exciting people on the mic in the UFC. He said he was going to smash everybody. He would talk trash to all of his opponents during press conferences, interviews, backstage, everywhere. Khamzat Chimaev was standing on business, and this is the type of actions that make someone like a Conor McGregor or a Nate Diaz so popular. If you're a good fighter and then you could stack good personality, good on the mic on top of that, that's going to make you a superstar in this game, and is a big part of what makes Khamzat Chimaev so popular. But this last year or two, Khamzat Chimaev has really stopped talking trash on the mic, and it's sad to see. I get it's cool he's maturing and he's going to grow out of it, but talking trash on the mic is going to take you to that next level of stardom on top of being a UFC champion. Right now, you have Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland in his weight division, and even Israel Adesanya, who are more exciting when they're on the mic. Khamzat Chimaev seems to be much more quiet. He posts on social media less. You don't hear from him as much as you used to a couple years ago. Now, the other day, he was active on Twitter, tweeting out against Sean Strickland, and it was entertaining, but you rarely see this from Khamzat Chimaev these days. And what does this mean for other fighters in the division if Khamzat Chimaev is champion? It means fighters at the top like a Nasruddin Imavov, Dricus Du Plessis, Kyle Barajo, these fighters' careers could be stalled not fighting for a championship. We see how Aspinall's career was stalled with John Jones as champ, as he couldn't become the undisputed champ, but he didn't want to risk his #1 status by fighting a bunch of other guys, which is fair for Aspinall to do, as he deserved the title shot. So this is going to happen to those fighters that I just mentioned, where they're going to be ready for a title fight, but if Khamzat Chimaev is not fighting often, then the careers are just going to be stale and they're going to lose their prime. And that would really suck for for everybody involved. But let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think Khamzat Chimaev would be a good champion? Would he fight often, or would this not be great for the UFC? With that being said, make sure to hit subscribe so that my next videos pop up in your feed, or else you might never see this channel again. Our next video should come out on Tuesday. We will have 2 to 3 uploads this week, as we do every week. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.